One.
Looks like
I'm
we're live.
setting. I'll tell you when we're live because you'll hear me say increase, rock your bottom. Done. 3, 2, 1. And hey guys, this is Albert, taxman Corey, business stream specialist. Any way to take your business to the next level? Today I'm talking with Adam. Adam is an amazing guy who, by the way, you'll see that you need to be in Facebook groups because this is where you meet awesome people. So today we're going to talk about interpersonal spacing, which is, when you use language properly, you're going to be able to connect. And by the way, in this covert times, and even after this times, connections are the key to success. It is so easy to connect. Connection is how you'll be able to take your business to any level. All right. So, every day, and by the way, if you're watching this, please do a little sharing. Sharing is caring. We want to spread the word of Mr. Adam. We want to spread the word of Adam because Adam is going to change the world, how to do connections and the spirituality that you need. And once you get this item down that Mr. Adam's going to teach you, could be your secret of building your business. And guess what? Probably what Adam teaches you, you go out and do it. Ain't going to cost you any money to learn how to do better connections. So with me, let me stop talking. And now, Mr. Adam, it's up to you. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you. Just want to quickly share that my business name is The Clearest You. I have a website where it's super easy to reach me. It's literally theclearestyou.com. It's the letter U, not the word spelled out. Anyway, my focus has been, I'm a spiritual practitioner. I engage with people, but I engage very strongly on a more grounded level than a lot of practitioners out there. I really focus on the idea of creating an awareness of your own personal sacredness, also teaching people how to know how to communicate what makes them feel cherished. We're living in a time with a tremendous amount of access to information, and it's become that everyone has sort of their own way, their own connection, their own ideas. And so it's really important to be able to step back from however it is you see the world and really be able to ask yourself, like, do I know how someone wants to create a connection or in what way they create a connection? I know people that, like, I'm a very wordy individual. I use a lot of words. I use a lot of language. That's how I connect the most. But in my work, I've had to teach people how to truly connect to someone in silence or through activity or some sort of connection where they're they're just doing something together. You're going for a walk. That can actually create a connection, activity, whatever it is. If you're talking specifically business-related things, everyone has different needs nowadays. Everyone wants different things. And so are you communicating with the person that you're working with to know specifically what those needs are? Are you stepping back from what you assume or what you think or what you believe to really actually just simply ask? We're very busy nowadays, but I'm telling you, asking saves so much time. Really learning to just step back and say, hey, what are you looking for from this can create so much. It's just, but we don't do that. We're not taught to actually ask. We're taught to kind of like guess or assume. And some people are amazing. They can just intuit it right away. I like being able to, dive deep and really engage. Are there any specific questions or focuses that you think?
Well, no, I like how you're doing it. And I like how, actually tell us a little bit more how connections are so important to businesses. I mean, a lot, and this is a business
what
kind
you
of
have
related.
to remember is that, especially because you're dealing with people and beliefs and cultures and ideas, there's such diversity now, which I think is absolutely beautiful. But people are also personalizing a lot more now. Like people, there was a time where business was business and you just kind of like, you didn't have emotions. You didn't allow any of that stuff into your world. And now it's become so prevalent. Certain people are taking things personally. You have this idea that the rules are just agreed upon by everyone. You know, we talk about common sense, common decency, common this, common that. And nowadays, as I said, because there's over an abundance of information, people are really just choosing whatever it is they want to believe and sort of expecting other people to figure it out or to understand it or work with it. And, you know, we're just dealing with, you know, once upon a time, there was like peer pressure to like behave in a certain specific way, to operate in a very narrow way because everyone else around you was doing that. Now, everybody's kind of making up their own rules, which is beautiful in the freedom of it, but it's challenging unless you take an approach very different than this is how we do things. You know, you really have to personalize everything. You really need to engage with, okay, well, this person who owns that restaurant, what they're really looking to do is create a specific emotional experience. Someone else is trying to cater to a different crowd or different group of people, or you have someone who operates a retail production or all sorts of different things. And they're all now motivated so differently. It used to be you work to make money. That was how it was. Now there's so many beautiful creative types that, yeah, there are absolutely people that work to make money. But there are other people that work to create completely different experiences.
Do you have any, what I'm going to ask you is, what are some of the, I guess, systems or rules that we can use that you can show me today that we can use right away?
Okay. So I really believe in measuring time as a way to navigate our lives. Okay. I really believe in the idea that every 5 minutes, there should be a somewhat sacred use of every 5 minutes. Like I'll waste 3 minutes with someone, but I won't waste 5. I won't waste 10. I won't waste 20. Okay. I really try and look at those things. And the truth is, we're not used to assessing whether or not something is sacred or wasteful. We just kind of do, well, I'm supposed to do this, or I feel like doing this. I've had the amazing opportunity to meet people from all different walks of life. And I met a lot of teachers. I met a lot of medical professionals over the years. And I believe there's actually a large portion of people that are neurologically incapable of expanding or learning or growing. And that there are a lot of people that try and convince someone of information. If you feel yourself drawn into the energy, like if you can own your awareness of how you're communicating, if you're trying to convince someone of something, you've already kind of lost. What you want to be able to do is feel like you're in a space of sharing. Okay? If you're sharing information, if you feel like you're sharing and there's a vibration of receptivity, then it's useful, it's sacred, it's not wasteful. If you feel yourself coming into this energy, this hard energy of convince, like there's this, like you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to get this person to understand, you're automatically wasting your energy. You're automatically sort of fighting a fight that isn't worth it, because I guarantee you stop that fight and you turn to your left or you turn to your right or you walk, a block, and you'll meet someone who is receptive. So the idea of putting so much energy into convincing or engaging with presenting information to someone who has to be convinced, so much work. And as I said, because we're, especially in this time, we can connect to people all over the world, okay? So if you're not connecting to one person, oh well, there's, close to 7 billion people on the planet.
By the way, there's only 4, and they say Facebook's going down, Mr. Adam, but there's only 400 million people on Facebook every day, only.
Right. So this is the thing, is that we make this idea that we have to convince everyone, and it becomes such a distraction, okay? I really think that reciprocal interactions where you're reaching someone, where you're engaging with someone, when you're creating someone, the more of those we have, the happier and healthier we are, because even the energy of just being heard or received or something like that, it takes a lot of the weight of the stress out of someone's life when it's a more common occurrence. people don't realize how much energy they're putting into convincing people of things, not just professionally, but personally as well. Like if you really, and then when you have a conversation where it just flows and you just connect, it's so much less work. Imagine every day of your life just only engaging from a place of sharing, not having that pressure or that stress to like convince, trusting that there's someone else, or you can look in a different direction. Or I work with a lot of clients and they don't realize that their challenge is purely locational. Like we'd had the conversation that people basically all around the world. And that if you go to a different place, you get like a different vibration or a different attitude. People from different places function in different ways. So many people stand still and waste so much energy trying to create where they may belong in a completely different state or country or something like that will actually allow them, again, this sense of ease, this sense of smoothness, the sense of ability to create positive personal relationships. There's a super old saying that the three most important things in business are location, location, location. One of the reasons why is because of the type of people that you vibrate well with, okay? Like I live here in Connecticut, okay? And there are so many people in so much pain here in Connecticut, in so much more than a bunch of different states, okay? I've traveled a decent amount and I've seen people in different places. There is such a level of competitiveness and a lack of community and cohesion in the area where I'm from that people are just constantly trying to prove themselves. There's no like moment of just celebrating moments and breathing. I mean, yeah, of course there are exceptions to the rule, but the general energy here is very challenging. So if you're someone who needs more community or connection, you may have to look at the people around you at where you're trying to create something and ask yourself, hey, is this really a match for me? Is this area a match for me? Are these people a match for me? Are these interactions a match for me? And if the answer is no, why assume something's wrong with you? Because there is a lot of that goes on. Is you hear people not being able to create what they want, and their immediate thing is either it's everybody else's other people are wrong, or they're wrong, or something like that. And sometimes, like I said, it's just the location. It's just the place. And people don't think about changing that. They don't think about like engaging with that. The other thing is having a really good, something that people can start doing more of now is having a better way of releasing their stress and potentially their sense of helplessness. I'm very lucky. I've engaged with people and amazing teachers and mentors from all over the place. And sort of my biggest self-work stuff is still now around the body. But there are some people that like people keep on telling them to go to therapy or talk to their friends or stuff like that. And sometimes what you really need is a punching bag. You need a physical outlet that isn't talking, that isn't verbalizing, that isn't engaging.
Why the punching bag? So you can get like all that rocky.
There's a sense of feeling powerful when you hit something. So a lot of people that I work with have had a certain amount of trauma, like really severe trauma, from PTSD to different types of abuse. And when they're made to feel helpless as a result of their circumstances, they actually need to be more connected to the idea of creating something powerful in them. A lot of times, if somebody already has done a lot of work with psychology and stuff like that, if they've been to therapy, if they've done that, and it hasn't fully brought them where they need to go, they may need to get into their anger, be angry in a healthy way, away from other people in the privacy of their own space, and just start feeling powerful. They start physically feeling powerful, then it bleeds into mentally and spiritually as well. Some people need a more warrior attitude, and a lot of the new ageier people that exist that I've worked with focus too much on the sense of peace. Sometimes you need a sense of power to really feel in balance, a sense of victory, to really be able to celebrate and engage. And we really don't, I mean, yeah, we have Christmas, we have different specific holidays, but we don't really celebrate a lot. Like there's not a lot of celebration in most people's day-to-day life. You know,
Well, I
I'm very
celebrate every day. You
What?
see me, I always sing, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I agree with you, but you've already developed the work. You don't need any help figuring out your way and your path. You're squarely on it. We're
Thank
we're
you.
doing these more to help people that
Right.
are are still working on their path and on their direction. And you don't hear people talk about celebrating as a way to like heal themselves, but simply like focusing on the idea of, so I am very lucky in the area that I live in. There's all sorts of different ethnic restaurants from basically all over the world. I can get Indian, Thai, Peruvian, Jamaican, like Chinese, like whatever it is, Japanese, everything in my area. And one of the ways that I celebrate is I simply break bread with people. I just sit
All
with
right,
a
what's
meal.
your favorite? We've always
I definitely, so there's a South Indian place in Bloomfield, Connecticut that is my absolute favorite restaurant. They know me there so well. They actually make a recipe for me that they had on their menu that was taken off because it wasn't that popular, and they still make it for me every time I go in there. It's
have a
absolutely
question for you.
wonderful.
How
What?
did you get into this? This is pretty cool. What was your background and how'd you get into it?
So, I was working in corporate America years ago because my father used to be a corporate accountant, and uh, I'm not a good employee. I'm not good at working for other people. So in 1999, I started going to school for massage therapy. I got my license in my massage therapy license. But as I started doing that, I found out about all sorts of alternative methods of healing and alternative techniques. And I got involved in something called Reiki, which I'm not sure if you are or not familiar with, but
Explain it
I've
real
been
quick what Reiki is.
so Reiki is a Japanese art of energy healing. It's based on the way that I see it. It's based on the idea that through different specific attunement processes, you can channel positive energy through your body into someone else's to recharge their batteries. And that when their batteries are recharged, they feel healthier, they're more relaxed, and it allows their body potentially to heal better and more easily.
Very
And so I started out really from that place. And then I found a new age shop where I started taking classes on all different sorts of theology, wisdom, divination, um, meditation, all sorts of different things. Like I've literally been studying now for 20 years, and I've had well over 100 mentors that I've worked with. I
very
work
cool.
very well learning from someone. I'm not a book person. I can't just like pick up a book and just absorb the
Just like
information.
me.
Not
What?
really.
Sorry,
So,
'cause we only got a
so
short window here.
yeah.
What do you like to do? You're in Connecticut where it's snow. Are you a winter dude, or are you since Connecticut's a four seasons place?
I mean, I have to say I love the fall. The fall is so absolutely beautiful, but I'm just here because this is like the place that I know. I'm eventually looking to be bilocational. I want to keep my place here, but I'm also planning on going to South Carolina in the next couple of years. I really love the ocean, and I love just the generosity and simplicity of a lot of people down in South Carolina. So I'm going to eventually have two locations.
Very cool.
But I work with people over the phone quite frequently. Most of my business now, especially given everything, but even before that, a lot of my business is national, and I've had the opportunity to have a few international clients. So people can always reach me, as I said, through my website. I can do a Zoom or a video call, but I tend to do better just doing work by the phone. It's less distracting, having to like navigate, seeing people and paying attention to kind of what's going on with them.
As we start to wind down here, because I know everybody's busy and stuff,
Right.
what as I always say, give us some final thoughts on what you do and how, couple of things. Give us some final thoughts on what you do and how they can change. And then the last thing, how they can get a hold of you, and do you have any free gifts or something you can give away for having our people thanking them for listening to you?
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll do a 20% discount for anyone who mentions the show with their first session. And so what I can do that as a giveaway. What I do, the challenge is that what I do, because my business name is The Clearest You, is I really structure a lot of my work to the person. So I can't give you like a specific example of, I'll definitely do this, or I'll do.
No, but a couple of little rules. I guess, what's some rules or some little things that we can take away and help your interpersonal space and use of language? Give me like a two little rules that I can use today to help me clear my head.
I would say, as best you can, start measuring objectively whether an interaction is you sharing or you convincing. Like that to me, that's a big one, because people don't realize how much energy they expend trying to convince someone of things. If they added all that up, it would be a lot pretty much every day. I mean, there are some people that don't care, and that's great, but like that's a big thing. And I would say, just to, even if someone's known you for 20 years, have a conversation around what makes you feel special. And if you don't know, which, believe it or not, a lot of people don't, ask someone to sort of spend time with you discovering or questing for what makes you celebrate moments, how you personally want to celebrate moments, what is really most valuable for you.
And one more thing, what's your website so they can get a hold of you?
Okay. My website is theclearestyou.com. You can also look up a book on Amazon under the same title. It's The Clearest You, but you is in parentheses.
Oh, well, guys, I think we're starting to lose communication here. I think we just have. Come on.
Sorry about that. Somebody.
No, I think, I don't know. The weather's turning bad here in Miami. So, okay. By the way, later in the chat, you'll see this is going to be up on what's that website we were on, and just put in the website, Mr. Adam, how to get a hold of you. All right.
Okay.
So let me just wrap this up here. Hey guys, this is Albert Corey, the income stream, the business coach strategist. We were just on with Mr. Adam. And whoever's watching this, like I say, it's always sharing is caring. You know, we love to share and spread the word.
I'm sorry, for some reason I can't hear you.
Okay.
So I'm having a hard time. So anyway,
it's okay.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you allowing me to come on your show.
Okay. I'm just wrapping it up here. Like I said, thank you everybody who's joining us on replay. Please, sharing is caring. We also got an amazing, because everybody who comes on, we also are giving away free gifts. So if you put your name and number below, or text taxman to 26786, we got some pretty cool gifts. My number one blueprint, how to increase your revenues. So guys, until the next show, this is the Taxman on Increase Your Bottom Line. Talk to everybody soon. Bye.
Thank you.